I'm a sales trainer and business consultant. My job is to help understand the things they need to know in order to structure their business correctly, in order to continue building, growing it, and allowing it to mature in a way that gets them to the destination they are really after. And that's being in a position when they can sell the business for a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. And Peter, I would like to ask a vague question. Let's say, for an example, yes, you have with your experience and your expertise, how you differ or how you define a term entrepreneurship and business?
Okay. Entrepreneurship and business, there's a very clear difference between them. If you are an entrepreneur, you are someone who is willing to take risk and follow an opportunity which you are able to identify. A business is actually something of a very technical nature, where it's a structure you have purposely built. It follows a process. It has people in it to operate this for you, and it's completely independent of you. Therefore, it can be sold as an asset.
Mm-hmm. And Peter, question that is raised from the entrepreneurs and the business people and the people who are observing them. So actually, how to find the right team, right person? Okay, he is the guy suitable for me. This is the team I have. We're going to run the business to a long further with this kind of team, and we have a right backend people. These are the talented people. How to choose the right people or the right partners with the entrepreneurs?
Okay, so if you are the founder of a business, you have an idea. Also, what you have is your own skill set. When you are choosing your next hires, whether it's going to be an employee or a partner, what you need to be doing is looking first and foremost at the person. Okay, what's this person's personal, professional, and financial goals? Are those goals aligned with mine? If they are, it makes the candidate really good fit for you, because they would be able to hit their personal, professional, and financial goals working with you or alongside you. If their goals are wildly different to yours, it doesn't really matter how much you will be willing to pay them. It would not work. They will go choosing and following their own goals. Then the second thing, both of you can actually see this, that you will share each other's goals, and the person also will say, you know what, I am able to see working with you and like sharing part of a journey with you. Take a look at SpaceX, Elon Musk. Elon's goal is to get people on Mars, establish permanent base in Mars. We don't yet know whether it's even possible in our lifetime right now, but this is his goal, and he openly shares it with everyone. People who are working for him are people who share this goal of his, but they have a skill set which can contribute to this, and they can see, okay, me working for SpaceX with Elon Musk, I can actually hit my goals. I will earn some money, but also one of those things is they would have the bragging right. They can say, oh, I was a part of a team which made this happen. So simply, their goals are aligned, therefore it works. I have seen this so many times before. Entrepreneurs are trying to hire for skill, and while people have the skill set which you need in your business, and they don't necessarily share your goals, you will end up with nothing more than a mercenary. Someone who's working for the paycheck not being at all interested in your mission and vision for your business. Therefore, they will only work up to what they consider enough for what you pay them, and anything else you will ask for on top, they will be like, okay, I may be able to do this, but I want more money. This is how I see it, and I have seen it so many times in businesses I'm working with, where this is the starkest difference between really engaged employees or partners in business and those who only work for the money, who are there for the paycheck.
Mm-hmm. And Pete, in current situation, we have seen, even you mentioned Elon Musk and the top 10 richest people in the world, and people seeing their net worth, how many billions they have on 192 billion to 100 billion. It's like that is going on the trend. The people is following the net worth. So for you, actually, the success of a business, what metrics you will consider? Is it a profit oriented, or it should be a mass production, or it should be a export, or in which way? What are the metrics for a successful business?
Okay. It is something different at every stage of the evolution of your business. There are 4 main stages. First one is business being successful. When you are able to create or develop a solution for a problem someone else has and wrap it into a product or service and put it to the marketplace, hey, this is a solution to a problem you have, it's going to cost you X amount of money. If there is someone out there who is willing to exchange his or her money for this product, your business has been successful. It's not yet a fully fledged business, but you have your first stage of success. At this point, you need to start creating cash flow. You need to be able to exchange product or service for money. The next stage of business evolution is the business has to be sustainable. The only way this business will it will only happen when you are able to periodically find new buyers for your solution, for your product. So if you can do it regularly and hit simply your monthly sales in order to cover your costs, you can sustain the business over long periods of time. So at this point, consistency is the thing which really matters the most. At next stage, you would need to scale the business up because you would need to know more, to do more. So, okay, it means hiring more people, building stuff, systems, processes, that kind of things, where simply you would need to cater for a much larger audience. At this point, okay, you have gone through sustainability, you can generate cash flow, but also you need to start investing money in the business. So into hiring people, making sure your team is truly professional. And this is where it starts being really interesting. The last stage your business gets to is your business being sellable. So we have gone from successful, sustainable, scalable to sellable. And at every single stage, something different matters. At the last stage, the question is, okay, am I going to sell? Am I not? This is where it gets really technical. Fine. Once you will decide to sell, the question is how much money you will take off the table. Is it going to be a life-changing amount of money, or what is it going to be? So the quality of work you've done in the previous stages, how much cash flow it generates, what's the profitability, and what's the value the business can create for your potential buyer, all of those things determine the final amount you are able to either take off the table by selling it to an investor, or perhaps throwing it to the stock exchange and do an IPO, etc. So it depends which stage your business is at that stage determines what is it you need to be focused at, and the amount of work that's necessary to get you to the next stage.
And Peter, right now we are in 2024 beginnings. I'm in the February right now. And people think and people consider a lot with AI technologies. So ChatGPT or GPT-4 are the new innovations, and new websites are there. You can do whatever you want in an easy way with the communicational prompt with the computer. So the current generation thinks the innovation is equal to implementing an AI with a business. So how do you viewing this point?
This is really
actually
interesting.
happening, yeah.
This is the same stage we've been at with the birth of internet, then with the website, we had the dot-com bubble, then we had all sorts of other things happening. We had Bitcoin, crypto. It's the same craze all over again, where simply we have funny stories of like the one I can't forget ever is where one of the crypto companies was doing an IPO, and the name of a company resembled a name of another company, which was literally just a coffee shop in New York. But the value of the stock of this coffee shop in New York went through the roof because everyone thought they're buying this other crypto company. So we are seeing the same all over again, where just by adding AI into your business, you are not truly changing anything. It's just a technical change. It's not adding any more value. It's not making any more impact. It's literally just, it's a gimmick, to be honest. But true innovation is where you can solve a new problem no one either was able to solve before, or no one was even looking into. And suddenly, by solving this problem, you have opened up a completely new space in the market, which can be explored and exploited by others. For example, AI as such is one of them. But AI is not just one thing. AI is ultimately just a tool which allows you to generate images, to do code without you having to physically write it, do all sorts of other things, do translations, do videos. Simply, it's just a tool which has suddenly been given to people, and now those people are taking this tool and finding new creative use for it. This is what true innovation means. It's AI, but AI on its own didn't do anything. It just allowed people to do things which they weren't able to do before. Make sense?
Yeah. And Peter, and one more question regarding to this AI. So we have seen the IPOs and the new stock market is booming up. In S&P 500, this NVIDIA playing a huge role. So the share price of the NVIDIA, the chip makers, are very high because of this AI demand. So the current situation is more forward towards the chip making and artificial intelligence, and people thinking towards on that angle. So the current generation who are trying to come into the market always focus on AI things. So do you think starting a business in a pattern like AI and the companies like booming up, is it a good, right, or healthy way, or it's just booming up in a current situation?
You have to look again at it through the lens of AI is just a tool. Same as Bitcoin is just a tool. The technology which allowed people first mining Bitcoins, which we used computers. Then a computer which you had at home didn't really cut it. Then you needed a more powerful one, until we are in the stage where simply now there are literally factories full of computers that are mining Bitcoin now. Same thing would be with AI, where simply if you can see an opportunity which AI allows you to capitalize on, do it. But again, see AI only as an enabler. The latest news is, and that's why NVIDIA stock is skyrocketing, is that they are pivoting towards computing or doing your AI stuff on your machine, and the graphics card, which is an insanely powerful processing unit, can do these things for you. So suddenly we have gone through all of these large models with like ChatGPT, and you have Google Gemini and etc., which simply you had to put your data in, and the cloud had analyzed the data and given you the result. Now we're moving to a point where simply people don't really want or even need to part with their data. So you will have your own computer, which doesn't even have to be connected to the internet, to process the data and give you all of the answers you need. So things are changing, and this is the first attempt towards local AI processing, where simply you can be full owner of the data and also the output of it. Because loads of businesses made the mistake of, oh, let's do ChatGPT, and they started feeding accurate real-time business data into it, only to actually help the developers of ChatGPT refine their model, get better calculations, and obviously include this information, which should be classified because it's your property. Suddenly it's out there in public domain, and I've seen it done before. Simply all of the copyrights, all of the things which are intellectual property have been fed to AI like ChatGPT, but doesn't really understand what AI is, and now simply anyone can access those things.
Yeah. And Peter, right now there are a lot of manufacturing industries are there, but when we compare the cost of the product, when they're doing the manufacturing, let's say 100% of a cost, like 60 to 65% of the cost is for the marketing. So it's like people are feeding too much into Meta or a Google or a companies like which is doing an AI and the marketing stuff and social medias. So the marketing cost is significantly increased on 2023 and plus 2024 beginning. So what do you think about this kind of trend that the manufacturing companies investing or doing the expenses too much on a marketing sites, especially for AI companies and this social media platform? So does it making a sense of a manufacturing company? Are they earning an actual profit, or this kind of social medias are earning the profit? So what is the trend? What is the clear cut on this point?
Let's put it this way. As every new technology, AI is now going through the adoption curve. We are not yet at full adoption. We are, I believe, probably in the early majority right now. So for businesses to spend such an amount on marketing, it actually makes sense, because by more and more people out there using AI, the overall size of a market is growing. It also brings down the cost of computing because it makes sense for big business to invest in this. Therefore, it makes also business sense for everyone. Yes, at this stage, you would say probably 40, 50, 60% of the revenue being invested into marketing doesn't make that. But doing this, whole market is growing. Therefore, the saying, rising tide lifts all boats. Therefore, in the long term, it will help both users who would not only be on the very beginning of their AI journey. Because let's be honest, today, all of the people who are using ChatGPT, 90% of them are doing really, really basic stuff. And they can't even wrap their heads around what are the pros doing. So as this 90% part is going to shrink and more people will become proficient, and they will start seeing benefits of using the AI in their daily lives, in business, etc., it will help not just them be more productive, but also it will help their business and those who are actually building and growing the AI models and hardware and everyone in a way which we can't even predict yet.
Mm-hmm. And Peter, I want to ask this question from you. Can anyone copy a business model from someone else? Because someone is starting their business with a passion, and it's an internal kind of a feeling when they're starting the business. So they're putting some pressure on it, or they're putting some innovation on it. They put their investment, time, and everything. So it's a unique way. It's a kind of a fingerprint. So anyone, in a current situation, right? People are copying the business is a simple thing. It's like, let's say, if someone into the marketing business, or the same model someone is copying in running the business, but at the end someone is successful and the second person might be in little backwards. So what do you think about this copying a business model one-to-one in an economy?
Let's put it this way. All of the ways how not to run a business have already been discovered and proven as not working. By you being smart and peeling your eyes and ears open and looking at, okay, what is out there, what works, it doesn't make you a thief. It actually makes you a really smart person, because what's the point of, there's no honor also in going the journey of exploring 50 shades of failure. Why would you need to do this? Just do what works, forget about everything else. Mm-hmm. This is the difference between professionals and amateurs. Unfortunately, in business world, there's only about 1% of professionals. Everyone else is an amateur, because you think that what you do is unique. No, it's not. The way you do is unique. No, it's not, because if you will dare to find examples, there are people who tried it the same way and they failed. So why should you waste your time? Simply, professionals do like straight to number one. Let's do it the way it works and let's go for gold. We are not really satisfied with second, third, fourth, or even 100th place. No one remembers this. Everyone remembers the winners. This is the way.
Mm-hmm. And Peter, in current situation, we have seen a lot of entrepreneurs. They call themselves as an entrepreneurs. Actually, they are tech nomads. They, keeping the laptop or a desktop within their hand, and they're doing their stuff only with drop shipping stuff, or marketing with some kind of website, or they're paid by Upwork. We can call a lot of websites on it. So they're earning the money from lump sum money actually. But they call themselves as entrepreneurs. Does the term entrepreneur, is it a right way, or what do you think? Is these tech nomads, are they entrepreneurs or they are self-employed? How you categorize?
Yes, you have hit this spot on. There's a lot of people out there who are calling themselves entrepreneurs, business owners, founders, MDs, CEOs, whatever. Answer some fundamental questions. Are you the only person working in the business? Yes, then it's not a business, it's a job. Are you actually delivering value to large audience? Again, if the answer is no, it's just a job. Purely because a business is a system which allows you or anyone else to achieve desired result every single time. By you being the only person in your business, you have no system. Every single time someone new comes to you, you are delivering a new and unique and bespoke service. And there's multiple reasons for this. There's certain small numbers of entrepreneurs or types of entrepreneurs. So let's take a look at them. Number one type of entrepreneur is people who have worked for someone else, and this is directly freelancers or digital nomads, or didn't even try working for someone else. They went to self-employment right away, and simply they are hiding away from working for someone else because they either had a bad experience or didn't want to have one. Therefore, they will set up this small or micro business and they pretend, oh, I'm my own boss, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business owner. It's a job. If you don't believe me, pop to your local bank and do a test. Ask them to lend you certain amount of money. Is going to be the second type of an entrepreneur, which is out there, is a professional who is really good at doing his or her job. And someone comes, you know what? It's a waste for you to work for this person. You should be doing this for yourself. You can make more money. So this person says, it's actually true. Let's do it. So this person starts a business and again does just a job. In order to turn this into a business, again, it has to be a system. There has to be a team. Team has multiple layers, which is the people and managers and directors and CEOs, board of directors, etc., etc. There's a whole structure to it. If you have just a handful of people working for you or with you, it's literally just a fancy job you have. The third type of an entrepreneur out there is someone who doesn't know how yet, but they are on the mission to change the world. It's the, again, Elon Musk's of the world, etc., where simply they will set themselves a goal. They don't even have an idea themselves how they would do it. But they would not stop until they will either achieve it or make an achievement which is so remarkable, closer to achievement of that goal than anyone else even tried. This type of an entrepreneur tends to be the most successful because to them, destination matters the most. It's not about the way you're going to get there.
Mm-hmm. And Peter, there's a common question I have asked with the entrepreneurs I have met before, and the podcast when I was doing and when I'm meeting the entrepreneurs. The question is, how do you balance your personal life and the business life? Because it's kind of a tricky thing when someone is going to the work, okay, yes. He knows 8 to 5 he gonna work and he come to the home and Saturday, Sundays will be there with the family. But as an entrepreneur, he's a full-time businessman. At the same time, he need to maintain his family. So how to balance the time?
Okay, there is no such thing like a balance. You wouldn't be able to strike it. There's always a trade-off, which is you will always trade certain amount of time for progress. And you can make this trade more efficient as you are becoming a professional. So simply, you are at the beginning investing your time and effort, taking it away from the family, and you're spending it with the business or in the business on the other side, in order to build a business big enough which can operate itself, so you don't have to babysit it anymore and you can spend time with your family later. Make sense?
Yeah, of course. And Pete, I want to ask one more thing. that when it's come to entrepreneurship, so he or she is capable of leading the people. So when it's come to the leadership, there are two type of people. One is like a task oriented, another guy might be like a humanitarian and trusting the people, and it should be like the people oriented. So how do you weaving these two parts of leadership and the categorize?
Leadership is something, it's a skill. You can learn it. Once you learn it, you will improve it over time, and you will become way more effective in it. In terms of the type of leadership, I believe you would have to be all types of a leader. Anyway, the reason being is, if you would be only one, like the humanitarian leader, you would not be able to build the technical side of a business. Also, if you are a technical type of a leader, yes, the techies would look up to you and they would do a great job, but you would struggle on the people side of a business. So you cannot be just one thing. You need to work on yourself by design and cultivate all of those aspects of a leader. And you need to be able to demonstrate those traits. I have my clients, and some of them are precisely at this moment where simply the technical work on the business is done. But now they are struggling on the people side. So, okay, in order to get to a point where people can really follow you for what and who you are, you need to be able to show and demonstrate the traits you want them to do. For example, if you are a senior decision maker in a business and you are working crazy amount of hours in the day, what your people in your team would do, they will take a look at what you do and either try to mimic it and replicate, because they would automatically assume you would have to do it, or you would want them to do it as well. But what will happen at the same time, they would come to a conflict internally, which is, well, okay, he is working 60 hours a day. I have a family. I don't really want to do this. Therefore, a perfect person for your business by you not showing this person that you can be organized, you can be highly productive at the same time. They wouldn't see the right thing and therefore leave for someone else. So you have to be very careful in what you're doing and how are you improving yourself. What is it you are demonstrating in order to make sure that you are able to set the right example for your people? Because if you aren't organized, your team cannot. And if they cannot be organized, you also have no right to slate them for this. Oh, well, why have you not done all of these things I gave you? Why is it all of this not happening? Well, because simply you have not set the right example. You haven't given the people the correct process and tools for them to be able to achieve what you are tasking them with achieving.
Mm-hmm. And Peter, we are running out of time, so I will ramp up one question. So what is your advice for the listeners who are listening to this podcast, and they might be an entrepreneurs, they might be leaders, they might be investors or a businessman? What is the common thought and your advice for the future leaders?
A business is a system. Most people end up pursuing busyness, which is being misinterpreted as a business. So stop trying to serve your busyness or to create your busyness, which only serves and supports your ego and ambition, and find yourself someone who can show you and teach you what the real business is how to create a process, a structure, and how to find the right people who will then use the tools you give them and follow the process you have established, so you have a shot at building a true business which will serve as an asset not only to you but also to everyone who will be working for you.
Thank you very much, Peter. You have joining from England, and it's a very pleasure to have you here. And I have got a very important and aspiration and the input from you, and the listeners who are listening to this might get a very useful this. And we will continue the podcast 2 series with Peter.
Thank you for having me.